Part 2 of the explanation for simplifying rational expressions is when you simplify expressions that are added or subtracted. So first we'll add one. And when you add fractions, you have to have common denominators. So factor, and then once you're factored, figure out what part is missing. So here, these are already factored. This denominator x minus 2 doesn't have a 2, doesn't have a factor of x plus 5. So this first part, I will multiply 4 over x minus 2 times 2 times x plus 5 over 2 times x plus 5, so that the denominator can have all three of these factors. And I'll combine the numerators. And then I'll add 4 over 2 times x plus 5. This denominator doesn't have an x minus 2. So I multiply times x minus 2 over x minus 2, which is another way to write 1, of course. That's why we're allowed to do this. And then I combine and simplify and figure out what's excluded and whatever. So this first polynomial becomes 4 times 2 is 8 times x plus 5 over, actually they'll all have the same denominator now, so I'm just going to write it once. Okay, and then plus 4 times x minus 2. We'll distribute and combine like terms. This is 8x plus 40 plus 4x minus 8 over 2 times x minus 2 times x plus 5. And I'll combine like terms in the numerator. So here I have 8x and 4x and 40 minus 8. So my numerator becomes 12x plus 32 over 2 times x minus 2 times x plus 5. And the goal here is to reduce somehow. Not only combine these, but to reduce them to simplify. So let's factor out a 2 from the numerator. Brain trauma, 16. That's not the greatest common factor, but that is as much as they'll have in common. So I can reduce these factors. Before I go reducing, taking anything out, simplifying, I need to make sure that x is not 2, because if x is 2, that would make x minus 2 be 0. I also need to make sure x is not negative 5, because that would make this part of the denominator 0. So my excluded values are positive 2 and negative 5. Then we can cancel anything that would help us reduce the fraction. If I continued factoring this, by the way, I could take another 2 out and write this as 2 times 3x plus 8, but that doesn't help me reduce it anymore. So you can factor it again, or you can not factor it again. Either way, I get 6x plus 16 over x minus 2 times x plus 5, as long as I exclude 2 and negative 5. I have another problem. Here I'm subtracting, and the denominator here is not factored. So let's factor that, and we'll compare denominators to make sure that I'm not multiplying by extra stuff that I don't need to multiply by. I could rewrite this whole subtraction problem as x plus 1 over x plus 3 minus 5x over, I can factor out a 4 times x plus 3. So here now I find that both denominators have a factor x plus 3. This first one is missing the 4. So I only have to multiply this first one by 4 over 4 to get common denominators. So factor and compare first before you just start multiplying stuff. Okay, so here I have then 4 times x plus 1 minus 5x. And the common denominator now is 4 times x plus 3. I need to distribute my 4 in here. I can rewrite this rational expression as 4x plus 4 minus 5x over 4 times x plus 3. And when I combine my like terms here, 4 minus 5x is negative x plus 4, or 4 minus x, whichever way, over 4 times x plus 3. Oh, I didn't say what was excluded. I cannot allow x to be negative 3. Exclude negative 3. All right, so sometimes you add and subtract. Sometimes you just simplify from the expression, the rational expression that you have. This goes along with some practice problems. I'm giving you the key for all of the odd problems. So your assignment is to work the evens. You'll have 10 practice to do.